Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. And today we're going to be trying the Ohuhu markers. So this is a 40 marker set, and it comes with a really nice case and a bonus colorless blender. And these markers are dual tipped, so on one side they have a chisel tip, and on the other side they have a bullet tip. And the first thing in this set is a little pamphlet, and they have the colors they have, the different lines they have for their markers, and a little backstory. Then they also have the colors, some blending pictures, and a unicorn made, I'm guessing, with these markers. And then they have this plastic sheet for when you're drawing on thin paper, or when you just want to protect your tables or your sketchbook just in case. And they have this little piece of paper, and it's super duper thick paper, and it's basically a little swatch card where you can just swatch everything. And we have I have this paper. It's just marker paper, but it is not as thick as the swatch card. But I'll see how, since these are alcohol markers, they might bleed through. I don't know, but we're just going to see how they're going to perform on this. So we do have a big selection of colors, purples and pinks and greens. And probably the first thing I'm going to do is swatch all these colors just to know when I'm drawing something, just so I know which color I'm using. But I'm just going to show you what the marker looks like. We have an oval barrel, and they have a logo in metallic silver, and they also have little graphics to show you which tip is which. And then they have I'll show you what the chisel tip looks like. So it is at a point, basically like your average highlighter, and it has no stripe there. And this one, the bullet tip, it has a gray stripe, so you can tell which one is which, and it's a much more fine when you're doing details and stuff. So I'm just going to start with swatching, and I want to use the bullet tip just so everything is as precise as can be, so it doesn't go out of the lines as much as possible. Now I'm just going to go with the next color, and I'm going in columns, so the next one is 15. There are gaps in the colors, but since we get a pretty good variety, it's also because they have much more colors in their line, so there is a lot of colors. So they're just giving us like a really good variety for 40 markers. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and once I'm all done, I'm just going to come back. So this is the finished swatch card. And now we can go see, this is like kind of what I want to try out. Maybe not like drawing something, but just trying to blend something, because this is what alcohol markers are known for. And I'm just going to put the plastic sheet they gave us just as a safety guard and see if it will work. So we'll just put our swatch card there as a reference guide, and I'm going to try and go with some blues. And there also are fluorescent colors, which is super duper cool. And I'm going to go with blues. I'm going to pick 3 colors and then take the colorless blender. And I'm just going to try and make a gradient, kind of. So those are the 3 colors I chose. And it's super helpful to have the swatch card because it can show you what colors you're using. And I'm just going to try using the bullet nib and maybe going over it. If you use the colorless blender not on top of any colors, then it's going to look clear. And right now, even without the colorless blender, the colors already blend pretty well. So I'm just going to go over that, I think you're supposed to go just in where you're trying to blend, but then you also have to, I guess, blend it with the color or something, just to make it look as smooth as possible. I'm going to go ahead and try this again with some purples. And I'm just going to start with a more magenta-ish color, and then go to the light purple, and then the dark purple. So this looks a bit streaky. The color, even with the color Splendor, it might look a bit streaky. And right now the blue one looks much better. Just gonna move that aside for now. And I'm just going to go ahead with more color Splendor to see if that works. It kind of only exaggerated the streaks. But once you go over that with more color, it actually, you can't see the streaks anymore. And it does look a lot more smooth. And then you can just go over that with more color Splendor if you want. But then you kind of, it can make your color Splendor a bit dirty. But you can always just use a scratch piece of paper if you're working on something. And just take the color off. And I did add a lot of color Splendor, so that did make, it did transfer onto the plastic. But the paper I used to cover my table is actually all clear. So I'm going to try and see what happens if I don't use that. With the same color scheme, I'm going to just draw a little rainbow. And I'm going to add little polka dots on some of the arches. And you can also use the color Splendor. The color Splendor basically makes the color lighter. So I can add polka dots or something like that. And you can see the plastic sheet protected it so much, and when you don't have that, it does stain very easily, even with marker paper. It's kind of thin though. But I'm going to take 3 different pinks, and I'm just going to, actually I'm going to switch out those colors. I'm going to go with these colors. So 6 and 9 seem pretty similar. And 6 does not really match its cap. But I'm just going to make a flower petal. And I'm just going to add color. And then I'm going to blend them out with the bullet nib. But so far I think the chisel nib has worked better. And it does kind of look a bit streaky, kind of like a feather or shrimp or something like that. But I'm just going to try going ahead with the petal vertical to it. And I'm just going to go ahead with more colors. And, okay, we are just going to go with the color Splendor as a chisel, and that seems to work a lot better. And I realized I made a mistake on the swatch card. On 6, I must have accidentally used 9. But that's okay, we can fix that. Now I'm going to try drawing a rose, because I really like the color scheme that we have right now. And it looks very bloppy, like, I guess the alcohol markers like spread or something. So, like, you can't really tell it's a rose because it's very, like, there's like no gaps. Or for the way I'm drawing this rose, or the technique I use to draw roses. It looks very blobular. I mean, it looks kind of okay once I added the lighter color, but it still looks weird. Now I'm just going to try and draw the rose again, but with taking extra care to have more gaps. So it looks so much more better now, and I'm going to try going ahead with the lighter color again to make that kind of cool effect or something. And I'm not adding another line, I'm just going over the other pink, over the petal. This kind of helps it so you still have space, but not too much blobular. And I'm going to add some green leaves, and swatching And the swatching card has made picking colors so much more easier. And these two pictures are super duper nice, and I really like the way they turned out. I'm going to try, just for fun, add what it looks like with the color splendor. That just kind of bleeds. It doesn't look good. But those are the two things we've had, and the bleeding was minimal. But I do recommend that you use the plastic sheet. As you can see, this sheet is not as big as my paper, but it's still really good to use. I think these Ohuhu markers are great because I think they were pretty good for a fairly cheap price, and you get 40 markers and so many bonuses like the colorless blender and the sheet and even the swatch card. I do recommend that you get these if you are looking for a cheaper or really good alcohol markers, or even just markers in general. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.